A friend suggested that John try the relatively new world of series television. It would mean a steady paycheck and allow John and Julie to move back to her home state of California. Forsythe created a series that put a different spin on the family dramas so popular in the late 1950s, shows like Father Knows Best. He starred as a playboy lawyer named Bentley Gregg, who is suddenly given charge of a teenage niece. The series, called Bachelor Father, premiered in 1957.
Something wrong?
No, happy occasion. Vicky's getting married. She's leaving the office.
Oh, poor Uncle Bentley. Isn't that wonderful?
First time I ever heard anyone change moods in the same sentence.
I think it was perfect for John Forsythe to go into television when he did, because he was the kind of guy that you really like to welcome into your home every week and have around. Television was the great place for the gentler souls, and Forsythe fit into that perfectly.
Each week, Bentley Gregg courted a different beautiful woman. In one episode, Forsythe had to fend off the crush of a young actress who would one day play his wife in a glamorous nighttime soap opera. But in 1960, she was just a novice actress, grateful for his support.
He was very kind. I remember more working with him because that was even more stressful for me because my mom had to be on the set because I was so young. And I didn't know what I was doing, and he was so helpful and so patient.
Though Forsythe played a swinging bachelor, on the set he was more like a typical 1950s television dad, benevolently dispensing advice and trying to be a role model.
John was always very supportive of me and taught me a few little tricks, like he taught me how to hit a mark without letting the world know that I was hitting the mark. And it was sort of like going to work, but it not really being work. It was more like fun. Sammy Tong used to say that we were a family, and he was the mother, and I was the baby, and John was the father.
The chemistry between the cast members helped make Bachelor Father a success for 5 seasons. During those 5 years, John Forsythe became a television star. And suddenly, he and his family found themselves caught in the publicity mill.
We had a lot of publicity photos taken at Disneyland, and we thought we were going to be with him on rides and things like that. And most of the time was doing publicity photos, and then the rest of the time he was swamped with people wanting autographs. So it was tough as a kid.
John and Julie were both trying to raise their daughters in as normal an environment as possible, given John's fame and their Beverly Hills address.
Our social circle was not Hollywood. We really grew up with normal people who went to public schools and had normal jobs, and he was very conscious. They both were very conscious of that.
John's son from his first marriage lived in New York with his mother, but Forsythe made sure that he remained a part of his life.
He was the kind of father who, after he had been divorced, managed to make real efforts, continuing efforts, to keep in touch with his son and include him in his family activities.
The end of Bachelor Father in 1962 did not mean the end of John Forsythe's career. Throughout the 1960s, he worked constantly. He starred in 2 other series, The John Forsythe Show in 1965 and To Rome with Love in 1969. Neither repeated the success of Bachelor Father.